So good evening, everyone. I'll talk a bit about science fiction. Do any of you remember the movie Fantastic Voyage? No? Well, I'm not surprised. It's actually a movie from the 60s, and most of you were probably not even born back then. Neither was I, but I'll quickly tell you the story. So there is this very important scientist who unfortunately is dying, and the doctors try to save him at any cost. So what they do, they build a tiny, tiny medical submarine, launch it inside his body, where it finds and successfully repairs the damage. Total science fiction, right? Well, you'd be pretty surprised by how close we got to implementing it in real life. My tiny submarines are called Nano Diamonds. Basically, they are very, very small diamonds. And that's not because my lab can't afford bigger diamonds. It's because nano diamonds can actually enter inside the smallest building blocks of our bodies, inside cells. So what's the first thing you would like to have in a submarine? Some form of communication with the outside world, right? Turns out we can communicate with nano diamonds using light. When I shine green laser light onto my nano diamonds, they report back to me by sending red light. This process is called fluorescence. Why is it possible? I'm sure you've seen natural diamonds. They are rarely colorless, and that's because they contain certain defects in their structure, called color centers. These color centers are what makes my nano diamonds so powerful. Not only they provide us means of communication, but also serve as sensors for our tiny submarines. Through changes in fluorescence, we can see what's happening directly inside cells. And moreover, it turns out we can measure some hot stuff. Nanodiamonds can be used to measure temperature. So they're basically very, very tiny, sensitive thermometers. We can use this feature to explore various biological processes inside cells and see if they're healthy or not. Even more, as any good submarine, nanodiamonds can also carry some very special cargo with them. This cargo is very small, but very important. It's drug molecules. So when an unhealthy cell is detected, nanodiamonds can supply medication. And of course, we can track them and see if the delivery was successful or not, just like in Fantastic Voyage. But you have to excuse me now. To make science fiction come true, there's still much work to be done. So I thank you for your attention, and I have to go back to the lab.